Welcome to Head Noise, a live stream show where we open up the conversation about mental health. You can join in live or just watch. Whatever you do, we want to support your mental well-being.
Hello, and welcome to another Head Noise live with your host, Phil Parker. That's me. And this evening, I have a wonderful guest, has generated a lot of interest social media-wise. Doctor, you're going to have to help me with your name. I should have clarified this before we went live. I do this all the time. Is it Sirisha? Is that right?
Sirisha, just like
Sirisha.
the iPhone Siri. Sirisha.
All right, Sirisha. Yeah, gotcha. Do the people call you Siri for fun or no?
Yes, all my good friends, yes.
Hey Siri, I'm not going to do that because I have too many. Yeah, literally all my iPhones are going crazy right now. All my Apple stuff. And is it Duvvuru? Is that right?
Yes.
Lovely. Okay. Well, welcome to this evening's show. I'm excited to have you. But to kind of give the viewers an opportunity to kind of find out a little bit more about you, tell us a little bit about what you do and how people can benefit from you mentally.
So I started off my career as a speech language pathologist. So nothing related to what I'm going to talk today, actually. So dealing with children, feeding difficulties, and all that good stuff. But last 5 years, I dived deep into nervous system education through polyvagal lens. I got certified by Polyvagal Institute as a practitioner. And more than getting certification, it's been a journey in my personal life through healing, getting better with health, healing through a lot of health issues. And it has done miracles in my life, I should say. Some of them I cannot even talk with everybody. It's almost like woo-woo. But then I started using that nervous system education into every part of my life, like as an entrepreneur, how to handle burnout. As a woman, how to handle my cycles, or in a daily life as a mom, how do I manage stress? That is literally solution for a lot of daily issues for us.
So speaking to that, obviously, moms who are watching are going to be. You have the solution to deal with stress. I'm sorry. Why haven't you marketed this better? What are the main things that you come across when you're dealing with this at first? Obviously, everyone has everybody has their own issues and things that they're going through. But what are the most prevalent things that you see?
Burnout is something that I see very commonly. It's common in women, working women, and working moms, and even a lot of entrepreneurs. These days, I've spoken to some of the group of entrepreneurs about the burnout and how you can use nervous system regulation. So I think the burnout, regular stress, and emotional regulation is something that I hear very commonly as well.
Right. And going along with that, how do we manage that kind of stuff? Like, because for burnout, I know you're really primarily focusing on moms and stuff, but being a single parent and dealing with the kids myself now, burnout is a real thing. Like, burnout is real for both parents. But like, how do you gear people towards really getting past those burnout issues? Because mindset wise, you have to gear yourself up to be more positive. It feels like a second job. Like, literally, I joke with people at work. I'm like, I'm finishing this one now, I gotta go to the next one. And so you pick them up and it's literally 100 miles an hour from when we get in the door. It's like food, bedtime, read a book, get all the stuff. It's just like you're going 100 miles an hour.
Right.
How do you combat that? And also emotionally, how do you gear yourself up for that kind of stuff?
Okay, so I like that you said mindset stuff, because that when we see burnout or stress in terms of nervous system lens that I'm going to talk about, when I say nervous system, we're addressing the body and not the mind.
Right.
That's something that we really have to remember. A lot of us these days are not in touch with our bodies at all.
No,
We
I
are
don't know.
all in the heads all the time. There's
Yep.
so much information input from outside, and there's a private world running inside.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, so we're all in heads. Now, this work, when we do the nervous system work, it's about getting from head to the body. It is very different. So when I started doing this work, it was so hard and it was very weird to be in the body because I've never felt it before. That's
Right.
how it's going to feel when you start doing nervous system regulation. The first thing I would suggest, if nobody ever has done this work, at least 10 minutes a day, do nothing. Do nothing. Sit with your body. Feel your body. Like, what are the sensations in your body?
Speaking to that, like a lot of people will say, sounds great, but how do I do that? Like, because the burnout doesn't come from just being a parent, because I love being a parent. Like, being a parent is the most amazing thing in the world. But like, the burnout comes from the overwhelm, from the constant mommy, daddy, like, I want this, I want that, fighting, all this stuff. So your nervous system is being attacked on so many levels because audibly, mentally, like, everything is happening at once. And so the burnout happens on many levels. So how do we really like, what are the stress relief practices that you can suggest for that situation? Because some people have one child, some people have two children, some people have two children and a dog that's crazy, or you know what I mean? It's just, there's so many different aspects and scenarios. There obviously isn't a cookie cutter one way to fix all, but what are the real suggestions that you can give us for those situations?
Are you talking about using in those situations or using as a practices in general?
Like practicing in general, just
Practicing in general.
like,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Gearing yourself up for your nervous system to
Yes.
be attacked. Like,
Yes. If you're a
especially-
beginner, I think you need to take 10 minutes out of your day to just sit with your body.
Right.
Feel your body. When I say feel, we're focusing on the sensations in each part of our body. Like when you start noticing a lot of this overwhelm, whatever you call burnout, stress, emotions are literally sitting like an imprints in your body. You will notice that. You will notice tightness in your chest,
Yeah.
tightness in your shoulders. And when you start releasing those, you'll see how regulated you can become, like in those 10 minutes. And if you stick to this practice 10 minutes every day, you will see the difference of your body in a dysregulated state versus regulated state.
It seems very simple. Is
Actually,
it something?
the well-being is simple, Phillips. We make it hard, I'll tell you. We have this limited belief that we have to work so hard to get well. No, it's actually simple and it's out there.
So, for the viewers that are watching right now, so these scenarios that we can go through millions of scenarios that we come across every day as parents, as individuals, how our nervous system is just bombarded with so much that you're just not ready for it. And what the practice that you're offering and something that you're saying to start with is sitting in yourself, sitting kind of almost like a yoga like thing where you're in tune with your body, the sensations, everything that's happening there.
So what we're doing is we're going and meeting the body wherever it is. We're not doing anything. Like we're not doing yoga. You're not trying to do anything. You're
Right.
just noticing what is already there.
Okay.
All right. You like go and meet a friend in a coffee shop. You don't say that friend has to say this, that friend has to sit like this, that friend has to do this. You just go and see whatever is out there. That's exactly what you do with your body. You go just what we call this as 3 N's: name, notice, nurture.
Name, notice, nurture. I like that.
Yeah, that's a technique. So you name it. Oh, I notice the tightness in the shoulders, tightness in the chest, and my legs are like folded and tight. So you notice these things, but you have to welcome them, nurture them with some loving awareness. You cannot judge yourself. Oh, why am I like this? Maybe I'm
Right.
not wrong, maybe I'm right. There's no right or wrong. You just meet the body wherever it is. Does
So
that make
then
sense?
what from that point, you've now read the situation, so to speak. You've sat in yourself for 10 minutes. What do you do from there? Like, what's the next step? Because I can tell you right now, sitting in myself, I'm going to say, well, I'm 41. I have tinnitus. I have bad knees. My elbows hurt all the time from carrying children up and down the stairs. Like what is the next step to this kind of self-help kind of thing that you're saying? Like, because for a lot of parents, the 10 minutes alone is like, wow, how do I get 10 minutes? Like, that's
Yes. Initially, that's what it's going to be so hard. Those
yeah,
10 minutes
it's
are going to be like it's
I
going
can't
to
even close the door in the restroom, and it's like, "Daddy, I want it." Like, "Daddy, I want." It's like, "Oh my gosh, can I not just be alone for like a second?" Like, and so really, that's the challenge. That's what we're looking at. I love unlocking the power of the nervous system, and I love what your mantra is, and it's incredibly interesting, and the process sounds amazing. But in that's in theory. In practice, your clients and everybody that will come to you, they're going to be coming with this same thing, like, how do I get 10 minutes? What do I do after that 10 minutes? What does that look like? Am I going to
Okay.
try it for 2 days and then go, it's just not working, I don't feel any different, I
No,
feel
that's not
yeah,
how it works. Yeah. We are addicted to like hormones of stress,
right,
everything for years together, like 20 years.
yeah,
And we can't expect that body to unleash everything in 2 days.
right,
So you keep the practice going for a while, and then you'll start noticing. If you give in to the practice, you will start noticing things in your body that you never noticed before. And
and so
sometimes when you just pay attention,
mhm,
those things starts uh, the
awakening,
unprocessed stuff starts coming out, and
right,
then you start to loosen up a little bit.
right. So somebody who obviously has practiced this stuff, what can we expect? What are the benefits of this? Because obviously your awareness of your body and everything. Tell me, you have a plethora of podcasts and and publications and letters after your name and all this stuff that's incredible. Tell me the science behind this. What has really led you down this path to realize that the nervous system is the way forward versus the mental side of things? Because being, mental health orientated, this podcast is obviously talking about, getting your mind right, getting this right. But
Right.
not a lot of people find that connection. Not a lot of people find the nervous system and the mind are interconnected, but really it's all one. It's almost
Yes.
if one isn't working, then the other one isn't going to be working either. So
Right.
how do we tell me the science behind that?
So, I think there are a couple of components in what you're asking. First, let me come to the nervous system. So when we say nervous system, it's all about the body. And to be more specific, in nervous system regulation, I teach my clients how three different states that we pass through the day.
Hmm.
Like there are three different states of nervous system. Do you want me to talk about those?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We
So
got time. We've no schedule here. So
awesome.
let's go for it.
So I think this will be very beneficial. So there are three states. Let's imagine this like a ladder.
Right.
The bottom end of the ladder, we call it as dorsovagal state. Like I know it's medical term, but it's all about vagus nerve, which means that you are in a shutdown response. These
Mm,
are the people who are depressed.
right.
For example,
Right.
depressed, suicidal ideations, and very low energy can pull themselves up. So there's a middle rung in the ladder where we call activated or sympathetic responses.
Right.
These are flight or fight. Oh, I want to run away. Like
Yeah.
the morning
Yeah.
rush that you see. Hey, I want to bite an apple and just go and drop the kids and do, that morning rush is an activated state.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's And the ideal state is ventral vagal response. That's like, the relaxed, social, connected state. Probably in your happy hour, you're in ventral vagal state.
Potentially, yeah.
Yes.
So is that it? So actually, to not to cut you off, and this you can answer the rest, and please do, because I do want to hear the rest of this. But something that's come to mind, the society that we live in now is really attracted to, the not so much narcotics, but the like the THC and the things of that nature, where you're it helps with your mind. Like, what is that part of that? Is that because really all that's doing is awakening your nervous system to maybe
Yeah,
being able
it does have
to
an
feel
impact.
that?
It does have an psychedelics. Yes, it does have an impact on nervous system. But it's again externally dependent, right? Like,
Right.
how much are you going to be externally dependent to regulate yourself is a question.
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
So what if you can internally generate that sense of safety?
Yeah.
That's what this work is about. Once we know how to map these states throughout, we move from one state to another throughout the day. For example, right now, I am somewhere between the ideal social ventral vagal and activated, because I know I'm giving the podcast. I'm a little activated, but I know it's okay to be calm. So somewhere between that. So if we
Okay.
know where we are and we know the tools to walk ourselves to the ventral vagal, the ideal state, we can get through a lot of situations.
It's incredibly interesting, and I'm not even going to pretend that I understand it, because I don't. But it's but that's why you're here. That's why we have you on the show. But like the science behind it and everything, we're still learning so much about the human body that we don't understand on a daily basis. Constantly we're finding new remedies and finding out that, like, for example, the ingredient in magic mushrooms is in a microdose can actually help Alzheimer's. And you're like, what? That's been around forever. How do we not know this? Like, all this stuff is coming out, and it's almost like the planet already had all the answers. We just took forever to find them. And now also we have the answers within ourselves. Like, the power of the mind and the power of the body is so huge that if we're at one with that, if we find that connection, the nervous system can really, I guess, adapt to any surrounding. Is that really what we're walking towards with this kind of stuff?
So when you say power of mind, I'm not against mindset work at all. Mindset work is great. Like,
Right.
being positive, everything. But if our body is in such a dysregulated state and we do mindset work, it's
Yeah.
not going to be that effective, versus when we are in a ventral vagal state, as I said, that ideal state, and then we do mindset work, it's going to amplify you
Right.
as a person
100%.
quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like fixing the engine of the car and then forgetting that you need new tires. Basically.
You got it.
To put it simplified down for everyone. Like that, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's such a complex thing, and I think for a lot of people, I think that's the most daunting aspect of mental or nervous system health, is that there isn't really, and that's why this is even a thing, why I even started this podcast. There isn't enough knowledge or resources out there to guide individuals when they are lost, when they don't know what to do, when this situation does come about. Like, I've never heard, it's why I was so, like, keen to get you on, is I've never heard of anything like this before. Like, obviously your nervous system is something that is talked about, but to sit in yourself for 10 minutes, it really does sound like yoga, but your yoga is your mind. It's not necessarily, it's kind of intertwined, but really when you're doing the yoga, you're trying to bridge the gap between your mind and your body. But if your body isn't 100%, bridging that gap between the mind and the body is just going to be a fun experience that you probably want to forget. So like, so let's go down a different road. You get a client. What's the first thing? What's that journey like as far as finding the right solution for people? Because I want people to understand, like, when they go and like book an appointment with you or whatever, what to expect and really what they can achieve from this kind of treatment.
So initially, as I spoke, I usually make them understand what the three states are, and
Mhm.
I make them go through a guided process where they, where to map where how to identify their state at the moment in the
Mhm.
session, and they can do that back at home and see what difficulties they are facing. And usually people have, once they understand what these states are, they can identify. I'm sure you'll be able to do it when you go
Oh,
back.
on 100%, 100%.
Yes, you know which state. That right now, what we didn't talk about is how to get there. Like, what are the tools to get there?
Right. Right. And I mean, I don't want to give the game away because we want people to come and talk to you and everything. But like it's that's I think that's the most interesting part of this is I have no idea where to begin other than obviously the 10-minute, sit in yourself, kind of do that. And I will definitely do that because anyone that's watching that knows me and my profession, like I'm a manager. So just being at one with my nervous system will probably help quite a bit. So I go from managing people to managing kids to basically trying to figure out life and my mental wellness and everything else. So this is an amazing opportunity to really find out how to do that with your nervous system as well. But then again, it's like, what's the next step? Like, am I going to notice things right away? What are the first things that I'll notice when I do these practices? Is it going to be this crazy, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't do this before? Or what are the signs to look out for that it's working? Because that's and I say this simply because last night and a couple of episodes before, we talked about people who expect things to happen like a light switch. Everybody wants
Okay.
things to happen like a light switch, right? And
Yes.
so, like, even when you go to therapy for your mind, you you do two things, you do two sessions, and you're like, I don't feel any better about this now. I think I'll give it up. It doesn't make any difference. So, what are the expectations for somebody starting this process, and what can we see happening?
So if it is somebody who has not done yoga or any body-based practices before, it is going to take some time to even get into touch with your body. It's going to feel
Hmm.
very uncomfortable. That is expected. But
Right.
we can always work through individual situations. Like, let's say a woman is having difficulty with cycles. Like, she has
Yeah.
extreme depression right before her cycles. So basically, she's going to the dorsal vagal state,
Okay.
like the bottom of the ladder that I talked about, like really depressed and low energy, can't pull herself up. Now, the first thing I would suggest for such a lady is bring in some gentle movement, not like going and running a marathon, or going out and running and I'm going to do really big exercise and making a determination. Nothing, gentle movement, just moving
Right.
around the home, or organizing a cabinet at home, like gentle movement, because movement is what brings up the ladder. Otherwise, they're going to get stuck in the bottom ladder if they're going to be in the
Hmm.
bed and the blanket all day. They have to somehow get movement into the. This is somatic based.
Right. Right.
So that's the first thing. So based on the situation, you can give suggestions.
Gotcha. Okay. um
So if it's a morning, let me give you one more example. If it's just a
yeah.
morning rush, like I'm in an activated, say, let's say I'm an activated
Right.
state, and I know I'm about to lose my cool over my kids, and I notice what state I am in. Like bringing that awareness. That's another
Hmm.
thing. Bringing that awareness is very important to even start off this work.
Right.
You can just fled off with the situation.
Yeah. I mean, losing your cool with your kids, I can definitely identify that. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I
Like
think it
you're
happens with
on the
all.
verge. You're on the verge. You're like, I'm gonna lose. I'm like, I can't believe I just, But afterwards, always afterwards, and I think every parent can identify with this.
Yes.
Afterwards, you always feel bad because you reacted, but also maybe it was an overreaction, and then you're now left with the crumbs of your actions. Like you have to now, oh my god, now they're both crying. Now it's worse because I could have not done that and it would have been what it is, but now they're both upset because I yelled, because I overreacted, because I got in the moment, and then my nervous system was going haywire and I couldn't handle it, and then this is what happens. Tell me this, the nervous system is connected, so you're audibly, that's part of the whole thing, right?
Yes.
So if kids are screaming at you, it's you're the overreaction side of that. Is that something that you help parents or help individuals that come to you, like drown that out, kind of be at one with your body, but then also like really be able to filter out I don't want to say noise because it is noise, but it's but like the drown out the just everything that's the junk that's coming at you, where you can make sense of it. Because really, when there's screaming and everything, it is just noise, but you want to pick what's important out of that and make, like, screaming and then you hear a sound, it's like you want to prioritize the sound, not the screaming, because okay, what just happened? That's kind of what I'm gearing towards. Do
Okay.
you help people with that side of it, or
Yes. Let me unleash this whole situation for you.
oh my god, here we go.
Okay.
Buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
So, what happens when kids are giving so much input that is not required is you're getting triggered, right?
Yes.
Okay. That trigger is nothing but your nervous system is saying, I don't feel safe. So, all that your nervous system is asking only one question: am I feeling safe at this moment or not? Anytime it's in activation or the dorsal, it doesn't feel safe.
Okay.
So, it's actually about safety.
Really?
Yes, the nervous system is wired for survival.
I'm more worried about their safety at this point, but like, yeah, like
Now that's in the
it's
head,
still, it's
but
still, it's
in the body, that's what we're not aware of. The body is saying, when I feel triggered like this, my nervous system is saying, I don't feel safe, so I'm gonna scream and
oh
let it
yeah,
out.
yeah. That
So
that makes sense.
in that moment, you need to tell your body there's no saber-toothed tiger coming and biting you. We don't need to scream
Hey,
here.
you haven't
We're
met my
safe.
kids. You can't say that. You don't know that. I'm joking. Go on.
I have to.
Well, there you go. So
So,
you're familiar. You're familiar.
yeah, I am familiar with those mornings. I had a morning this morning too. So just last 5 minutes and they don't get in the car. So it's all there.
I mean, I really just want to find a big enough duffel bag where I can just, like, there you go. All right, you're in the car. Now I'll unzip the duffel bag when we get there and I don't have to worry anymore. But like it is, I say this all the time. Parenting does not come with a handbook. It's not something that is um it's not something that is an easy process. There is no right or wrong way. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks
Yes.
that there's certain ways to do things. I think really what you're offering is finding that oneness with your body to where you can deal with all of these situations. So it's not
Yes.
just necessarily because your kids are screaming, because I haven't met anyone yet, but some parents may not have screaming kids. So like it could be that there's another situation that you also have to navigate. It could be that it's not even children. Maybe it's your daily life where you have employees that don't know how to act, and it's overwhelming nervously, or I'm trying to word this correctly, but like it's overwhelming in the sense that your body's reacting because you don't know what to do. And so it's this, you can't find a solution. So you overreact, or you yell, or you do something else.
So in that situation, what if you tell your body, put your hand on your chest and say, it's okay. You're safe. We don't need to scream here. this might sound very weird, but it really works.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the end of the day, you can say I could say that about. I mean, when vaccinations first came out, everyone was like, "Why would I inject myself with the virus to get away from that? Doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. You're crazy." Now we get vaccinations for everything, so it's like, okay, well, I'm not opposed to any process. I love this way of thinking. I love the fact that getting in tune with your nervous system is something that
Yes.
is
It works. It's really simple, but it works. If you
100%.
use that in that specific situation. But even before that, you have to get a little bit used to getting into body and mapping your states.
Wow, wow. I'm so interested. I mean, we could talk for hours, but I don't want to. I don't want to keep you for hours and hours and hours. Um, your your resume is amazing, Siri. I think you're phenomenal. As my phone goes crazy again because I just said your name. Um, but like you've got so much background. Do you find your calling really now is this nervous system work? Because you I see the benefit there that ties into almost everything you've done before. Like you talk about your speech language pathologist, and you've done a lot of this stuff, but now you're tying everything together by doing this nervous system stuff. So
Yes, I think this is going to be what this is where I feel so aligned with, because it's been my personal journey and it made a lot of difference in my life. But
right.
I use nervous system regulation in my sessions in speech therapy as well. I still have passion towards that career, working with especially feeding, eating disorders in children, uh,
Yeah,
being regulated at the table, different things. With children, it's a lot more difficult and
right.
different.
Because they don't understand a lot of
Yeah,
a
they
lot of
don't
things. Yeah,
understand how
yeah,
to map the states and stuff.
yeah.
So it's about being a co-regulator, and this is a part where we play as a parent as well, like being a co-regulator with our children.
I mean, it's a phenomenal journey that you've been on. One of the questions I do have for you is, do you see this benefiting existing nervous system ailments? Like, for example, I know one that comes to mind is like Parkinson's disease, for example. Like, is this a practice that could help um not so much recovery, but like dealing with that situation? Because it is a nervous system related illness, so you're dealing with a lot of changes within your body and a lot of things that don't make sense. Is this something that you could see benefiting that kind of stuff?
I cannot speak with authority on this because I have never seen a Parkinson's disease patient,
Right.
treated Parkinson's disease patient with this kind of work. But when we talk nervous system regulation, we are talking about autonomic nervous system, which
Yes.
means that which regulates our heartbeat, digestion, um, and face heart connection, and some of the all the parts that vagus nerve connects. But
Right.
if the lesion is in the central nervous system, it needs more of a medical intervention as well.
Of course, of course. And honestly, at people with these ailments obviously are looking for every kind of, and I don't want to obviously have misinterpretation of what this practice can do, but anything and everything is obviously a step in the right direction. If it's just like being at one with yourself. I know yoga is something that has been done just to kind of help with the changes that are happening with that. So
Yes,
that's where
yoga
that
is one
question.
of the nervous system friendly practices.
Right. And that's really where that question was coming from. I wasn't looking for a cure for Parkinson's.
Right.
It was more like, uh, do you see these practices moving towards, and in addition to medicine and things like that, do you
i
see?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, it could alleviate some of the symptoms.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that. So I'm now going to shift over to your website because I want to make sure that people get to see how awesome your website is as well. So let me pull that up. And there we go. Boom. Okay, so I mean, we already know about you now, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're incredible. You're a speech language pathologist, which I could probably use myself sometimes because I don't know how to speak. And a speaker who helps parents and professionals move beyond behavior management by unlocking the power of the nervous system. I mean, that in itself is huge, but you go on to talk about practical strategies that transform children's behaviors through safety regulation and connection, and then you've been featured everywhere. Like, do you ever like pinch yourself and go, I can't believe I've gotten this far? Like you've now been recognized by Brainz Magazine, Voyager, Independent Clinician podcast. You've presented for so many different events. Like you really, you're a voice to be heard. Like your mission may be somewhat different to what it was in the beginning, but you're evolving to really meet the demand or the needs of the people that you're seeing.
Yeah, I think the journey is so satisfying because I walked it.
Yes.
I'm very confident and I trust in this work because I know it has made a change, and I exactly know the tools and how to walk people through this so that they can actually change the difference. So sometimes not everything can be taught in a podcast or a group setting like this. When
Right.
it's one-to-one session, the therapist prompts and the way we walk through the whole thing will be so different, and that's where
100%.
we'll benefit a lot.
100%. 100%. And and honestly, this is more like of a bite-sized version of
Yes,
Siri, and it's no phone, I don't need you. Uh
there it goes again.
There it goes again. It is a bite-sized version of what you do, and really, this is what this podcast is all about. What this live stream is all about. It's about connecting individuals with people like yourself who can benefit from your work. So, your mission, you speak about it on your website. Families and communities are often told to manage behavior, but the approach only scratches the surface and leaves everyone drained. As a speaker, I help audiences understand the nervous system as the missing key, showing how safety, connection, and regulation can unlock real change. Like, that in itself is amazing. And one thing I do want to ask, because I don't think it talks about it, and maybe it does somewhere. Tell me your journey. What did that look like, so people can understand that you're not speaking from anything, like you're not just somebody that came up with this because
Mhm.
you have you're a doctor or whatever. You've actually lived this, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I lived this at least for last 5 years very intensely. And I think at this point, I can say I'm going to be a lifelong student for this work. Um, so definitely my journey, the reason why I started off this work, because I was constantly in a dysregulated state. And I I was dysregulated to a point where I was having issues with my digestion.
Mm, mm.
Um, so anything and everything would get me upset, and I suffered from celiac disease.
Wow.
Um, so, and then one of the friend that I know talked about nervous system regulation to me, and then I started exploring into it. I
Hmm.
did these little practices that were given to me very meticulously. Oh my gosh,
Mm.
like my life depends on it. And that made a lot of difference, and I could see where I was coming from. It's not just the current state that we are in, the past history that we have, like the childhood. For example, the childhood voices that we hear,
Yeah.
the kind of environment that we had at home. Let's say if a child has a very unpredictable environment, uh, like, constant screaming at home, don't know when
Yeah.
mommy's gonna get angry, don't know when daddy's gonna get angry. All of a
Hmm.
sudden they're nice, all of a sudden they're getting angry.
Mm.
Very unpredictable. the nervous system will learn to scan, like become hyper vigilant. Like
Mm-hmm,
as
mm-hmm.
they grow, that individual is going to have trust issues.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
that where it's coming from? So
Yeah.
it's rooted all the way from childhood. So I could see some of the patterns that I was bringing in from childhood all the way till now. And I had to heal those parts through regulating myself.
And is that for children? Is that really, is that connected to like reactions? Like, I know loads of parents who suffer from this. Like, for example, all of a sudden, okay, time to get off your iPad or time to get off your whatever you're doing, and it's like meltdown mode. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not. You know, is that part of that same connection? That safety mechanism that they feel like, obviously technology is technology, and we try and limit technology, but obviously the world that they're growing up in is based around that. So we have to kind of really monitor that. But is that really where it is? They're safe. They feel safe. They're watching their iPad and they're
It's
doing
all
whatever they're
about
doing.
safety. It's
And then you
internal sense
literally
of
do
safety.
the, hey, you're done. And then it's like,
Yes. So that's exactly, I love that you got this point. I did this with my kids. Okay. It's
yes,
same with every kid. Like you say, you need to turn off the iPads, the alarm goes up. And
yes.
how about I put it I give a safety cue. Would you like 15 or 20 minutes before you turn it off?
Wow, that's an incredible tool right there. I think I'm going to use that already.
Yes, yes. I mean, the tone that we use, the language that we use, the words that we use, and the facial expressions that we have
Mm,
offer either safety or unsafety cues for the children. They
right,
pick
right,
up on us because their nervous systems are not mature.
right. 100%.
Yeah.
Amazing. You are amazing.
Thank you so much. Love this work.
I really appreciate you being on the show. I cannot say this enough. The work that you're doing is unbelievable. But the website, again, just to put it back up, is SirishaSpeaks.com. And I mean, everything's there. You can learn more about her. You see the mission, and then the connection begins here, but all the way down the end, because I did all my research. You can. She's even given her phone number. I mean, that's pretty brave right there. But she's even given her phone number, and you can connect and write your message and everything. I truly, truly, truly 100% think that you're doing amazing work. Thank you for doing the work that you do. I know it's not easy. I know the journey that you're on was not easy, but giving back is pretty much what everyone tries to do and what I'm trying to do with this podcast. So, those who are in need of help with their nervous system, who want to learn more about this process, the biggest thing you can do is definitely connect. The website is scrolling along the bottom. It's also shared on the screen. Like, please do. And if you're driving and you can't write it down, please, my text number is 503-862-9972. And if you watch the podcast enough, unscriptedproductionstudio@gmail.com. It hasn't changed. If you want to connect, I can definitely connect people as well. Sirisha is amazing. And as you've heard, she's not speaking from a place of power because she's come up with this solution herself. She's speaking from experience. She knows what people are going through. She knows how to deal with these things that people are going through. So please, please, please do reach out if you have anything that you feel that she can help you with, because that is why she does what she does. Thank you so much for being on the show. Like I said, you're incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phillips, for your kind words and showing my
You're
website.
you're a mom. I mean, you're a mom and you're doing all this stuff. I mean, I don't know how you find the time, but I truly appreciate you being on the show. For those who are interested, again, SirishASpeaks.com. We'll be back again for another episode soon, but check out Facebook, check out YouTube. You can watch this back. You can definitely listen to the conversation again. And again, like, go with grace. We're here to serve, and we want you guys to have mental wellness, but now nervous system wellness. It's a whole new thing.
Oh,
Imagine
I love
that.
that.
I feel like we need to.
Oh.
I feel like I need to rename my podcast now just because of this. But thank you all again. We'll talk to you soon.